Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot, where today we're going to be talking about all those cards that put fear in our hearts when we see them. If you're like a reader and you read for other people, I know you probably have this feeling too. When certain cards come up, it kind of scares you and it scares other people at the same time. And I know so many times I've talked about tarot with others. Hey, you want a reading? I can do that for you. They're like, oh no, I'm scared of it. What if the death card comes up? What if the tower comes up? Those cards that everybody's a little bit scared of. Did you know there's actually a positive side to each of them? There's a silver lining to each of them, and there's a way to see them positively, even if they are dark. Because when it comes to life, not everything is going to be sunshine and rainbows. Think of rainbows, for example. They only come after the rain. So when the sun starts shining after a storm, and you see those sun rays going through the raindrops and everything, that's when you see that rainbow. So even the darkness has a light, and that's what we're going to talk about today, are all those cards and how to see them in a more positive, a brighter light. So we're going to start with the one that I think is probably one of the most feared. It's the one that, like I said, it was when people, you would say, oh, I can read the cards for you. Do you want one? And they're like, oh no, what if the death card comes up? Well, what if it does? And it's right here. This is the circular 1909 Rider-Waite-Smith that I'm going to be sharing with this video. If you want it, I'll add it to the link to the description below so you can purchase it for yourself. But here is the illustration from the Rider-Waite-Smith from 1909. You have this illustration like the Grim Reaper, Death himself, is sitting on that horse. That's the pale horse. So we think of like the apocalypse, and that pale horse is what's coming for death. It's coming for us. And as much as dark as this is, as much as we don't want to think about it, that is very much a part of life. Everything that lives dies as well. So there is that aspect of it. But when the death card comes up in the tarot, it rarely, if ever, means actual death. It's the death of something that no longer serves us. It's time to let it go. As much as we beg, as much as we don't want it to happen, as much as we the Pope standing there saying, please don't take me, as much as we don't want it to happen, it's going to happen. It's going to come whether we want it to or not, because that's the one constant in life, is everything that begins has to come to an end as well. And I know that's dark and dreary, but the silver lining and the positive side of it is the sun will shine again. After every ending is a new beginning, and that's the positive side of the death card. That 13, 13 is also a feared number, but it's personally one of my favorite numbers. I love that number, honestly, because nobody else does. A lot of people fear it, and that's why I enjoy it, which is why I wanted to make this video, because there is light and positivity in the darkness if we're willing to find it. Take that 13, for example. It combines the Magician with the Emperor. So it says Magician with the Emperor is to create the Emperor. So we have that action, that beginning energy of the one that says this ending isn't going to hold me back. I'm going to take this chance, begin a new chapter of my story, because I am the magician. I'm the protagonist of my story. So whatever I want to begin now, whatever held me back before is gone. So I'm able to move forward. I'm able to bring the light into my life, into this dreary time, and find happiness again. That 3 shows the creativity and creation itself of the Empress. So it says once you believe that you can take action on this, once you see yourself as that magician, that power to create the life that you want is within you, and that is what can give you the power to create that strong foundation the 1 and 3 combined to do. So holding on to that pain, holding on to that ending, that's going to hold you back. But when you're able to see past it, when you're able to see that the sun will shine again, that you're able to keep moving, to able to begin again, that's when you can use the death card and see the empowerment and positivity of the death card. Because once it's over, once that pain, once that anxiety, once that doubt, once that fear is gone, once you've let it die, you're able to begin again and create anew, something stronger, something better than you ever had before. Now, while the death card is a card that many people fear, and when we think of death, we fear that too. And, when people think of being scared of a tarot reading, they very much think of death. But there is a card that's probably more feared, more scary, more terrifying than the death card, and that would be the Tower. And we have that illustration right here. The 2 characters are falling out of that tower. It's coming to an end. This crash is coming whether they expected it or not. And there's the big difference between death and the Tower, is a lot of times when death appears, we've kind of expected it. We kind of are ready for it, prepared for it, even if we don't exactly want it to happen. But when the Tower falls, it's often catastrophic. It's not what we expected. It's sudden change and endings that we weren't prepared for. Think of a losing a job, losing like an occupation, getting sick and not being able to do something, just something you didn't expect, like turning your whole entire life upside down. So that's kind of the energy of the Tower. So it's definitely one of those cards we probably fear more than others. But the Tower has a silver lining as well. Now these people, they're not actually falling out. They look like they're going to fall. They're probably going to die. There's like jagged rocks and everything. So this is definitely a dangerous situation. But they've still got their passion, they still have their intuition, and they still have their logic and ability to create once they fall. Because, you know, this is not physical, what's the word? It's not literal, yeah. And not like death, not meaning actual death in the tarot. The Tower is not like actually physically gonna like kill us, but it's gonna make us probably wish that we were dead or wish that things didn't change, but we can't change it, and that's the energy of the Tower. But think about once that Tower falls, we still have the memories, we still have the wisdom that we have accrued from it. We still have that knowledge that we can work with, that we can use in order to make a better Tower than we ever had before. Now the 16, that combines the Magician again, so we have that power, that individualism, that ability to take action and begin again, combining with the Lovers. Now the Lovers is a number, the number 6 is a number of self-reflection. So that Magician is learning from that past. It's learning from that Tower. And even though the Tower has collapsed, that ending has come, we can build something better from the pieces when we're able to look past it, to look past from the pain, learn the lessons that it has to teach us, and be able to overcome the obstacles that stand in our way moving forward, because we become the drivers of our chariots, because there's nowhere to go but up after we lose that Tower and after we have that ending that just leaves us with nothing. So that 16, you know, that's 1 and 6, it reduces to 7, that number of the chariot. So it says we get to be able to drive ourselves, we get to find that confidence to keep going, because that Tower, just like death, it doesn't mean everything it's over. It just remains that something new is coming, that we have to go with that change and be able to begin again, even when it feels like everything else is over. And we can't. We have that knowledge, we have that wisdom, and we can rebuild a better Tower from the pieces, because we've learned from the experiences. At the very least, we've learned what we didn't want. Now, in the Major Arcana sequence, the Tower is followed by the Star. And then you see the Star right here. You know, this is exactly how it goes in the numerical sequence and the Major Arcana sequence. And that Star, the character in it, she's naked. She doesn't have anything. The Tower in the illustration is gone. Like the stars have come out. Just like I said, the rainbow shines when the rain is over. When the thunderstorm's over, you have that rainbow to remind you that the sun can shine again. Just had the sun coming up over here with the Death card, showing that the sun will rise again, that new beginnings will be waiting for us, and we are going to take that knowledge that we had in the past and apply it to the present. The Star follows the Tower in this sequence, because once that Tower falls, you're able to rebuild again using your own power, your hidden talents. You find those hidden talents because there's really nothing left. You're able to begin again because you've learned from those experiences. So even if the Tower comes up in your reading, see it as a moment of empowerment. Say, I'm not going to let the pain of the past hold me back. I'm not going to let this collapse keep me from seeing what it has to teach me, to enlighten me, to be able to begin again. I can take this knowledge. I can begin again. I am the magician of my story. I have the confidence I need to succeed because I love myself. I've learned enough about that to let love lead my way forward and help me overcome whatever obstacles that stand in my way, so I can find that success and I can be the star I was always meant to be. So those are two very fearful cards, Death and the Tower, but there are more we are going to see. The final Major Arcana card I'm going to show you is the Devil. Now the Devil, not necessarily as dark and dreary as the Death card and the Tower card, but still when it comes up, it might be calling us out on things that are holding us back, because this is very much a card of vices and addictions. And you can see the two characters down here chained up to the stand or the seat that the Devil's sitting on, and you can see the chains around their necks. You can look very closely there. You can see the chains are easily removed. They can move these things over their heads like it's not difficult, and they can walk away from the prison of their own minds. They can walk away from these addictions if they want to. Now in the Major Arcana sequence, the Tower cards right there, the Star cards right there. But in the Major Arcana sequence, you can see the 16 there. The Devil is actually what follows or what precedes the Tower in the Major Arcana sequence. So it's kind of like saying, I'm holding on to those vices and addictions. They're keeping me safe, comfortable, and content right now. But if I let them go, it all comes crashing down. And then you have the Tower. And then in the sequence, you know, you have the Star right there. It says, yeah, I might have to begin again. I might have to face these obstacles to find success again. But I'm open, I'm pure, I'm ready for whatever life throws at me because I'm not letting any of those vices and addictions hold me back anymore. So while it is a little scary of the sequence, it turns out to that positive light. It shows that you could become the star of your story, become that power, that success and wealth that you truly deserve because you've left behind those devil experiences. Now, like I said, this can be a card of calling you out for your vices and addictions, being focused on like not really healing the wounds, healing the pain, but really giving into the drinking, the distractions, and all of that that wants to hold you back. Yes, I'm guilty of this stuff as well, just as probably many people are. Even just losing ourselves in a story or a television or a video game or something like that, that can be a devil situation too, and we have to free ourselves from that so we can see where our passions can lead us and see where the fruits of our labor can lead us. Now, the 15 of the devil combines the magician again with the Hierophant. So it kind of tells us that we, again, are the magicians of our story. We're able to begin whenever we see fit. We're able to leave behind this feeling whenever we see fit. And we are the ones with that power to change our lives for the better, to transform them into the lives we want to live. Because the Hierophant, very much the card of a structured religion, but it's also following our own religion, believing in our own worth, and following the path that feels right to us. So when we're confident in ourselves, we're able to leave behind that pain, leave behind those drugs and addictions that want to hold us back, then we can change our lives for the better. Now, the real silver lining of the devil card that I feel like is the one that really shines above all is the fact of its astrological correspondence to Capricorn, the cardinal earth sign of the zodiac. Now, when it comes to creativity and everything, like creating beautiful lives, comfortable earthly existences and everything like that, there's no sign of the zodiac that I put higher than Capricorn. And so that's the energy that the devil really possesses. That's the silver lining that the devil card possesses, is the fact that these people and our own power, when we see our ability to do so, we can create the comfortable earthly existences that we want to live. This is an empowering card in that sense, that shows the power that we have to create the lives that we want to live when we're able to leave those vices and addictions behind. So all three of these major arcana cards, very negative. When they come up in a reading, it's like, oh, I don't want to make these people mad, I don't want to put fear in them. Or when you're thinking about getting a reading and someone tells you, it's like, these are the cards that are going to hold us back, make us not want to get a reading. That's the silver lining. That's where they lie. We are the ones able to take these chains off. We are the ones with the passions that we can take that drive, that focus, and change our lives for the better. And we are the ones with that power to create the lives that we want to live, the ones that will make us not want to give into those vices and addictions so much. So those are the major arcana cards, but like I said, I have minor arcana cards as well, and we're going to start with the 10 of Swords. There is the whole suit of swords, for the most part, are very, very negative, like mindsets. Like, it's a suit in the mind, so it's our minds working against us. Ace of Swords, positive. That's the aha card, the ideas in our minds that, we want to take and we want to make something of. We have that confidence and that trust in our minds. The Two of Swords, taking that time to look within. That can be a little bit dark, in a dark energy as well, facing that darkness within, being able to see the way forward. Three of Swords, we'll get to that one in a little bit because, that's the heartbreak and betrayal. Four of Swords, you're resting, reflecting, because you've dealt with a lot of pain, a lot of sadness, a lot of negativity that's plaguing your mind, and you need to move forward. Five of Swords, that's the victor or victim cards. You see yourself as that victim. You need to change that mindset to see yourself as the victor. Six of Swords, you let it all go for a while. You're finding that time of peace and harmony. Then it just gets more negative as it seems to go. With the Seven of Swords, the thief card, but as I said, it's the suit of the mind. So it's the real thief in your life, your own mind telling you can't do something, making you give in to that devil because you don't want to face the darkness within. The Eight of Swords, the feeling like a prisoner to that mind. The Nine of Swords, staying awake at night, letting those inner demons hold you back. And here's the Ten of Swords. It's all come crashing down. There's the blood coming from him. The swords in the back. You can see there he's just laying down. All these vultures, that's what I call like people that just want to drag us down and make us feel like we're not good enough, or we just want to lay down and die, because these people, these other voices, have caused their own inner voice to fill us with doubt and anxiety. And the anxiety and doubt in this illustration, it's brought him down. It's caused him to feel like there's all kinds of swords in his back and he's not able to move forward. But look at the background, look at the illustration. The color yellow, much the color of creativity, creation itself again, and it shows that, the clouds will dissipate, that you'll be able to move forward once you face that ocean of emotion that's in the way and you find your way forward, so you can embrace that sun that's waiting, that change, that transformation, that ability to begin again. This is the 10 of the mind. It's the completion of the suit of the mind before we meet the members of the court. So it says it's the connected to the Wheel of Fortune of the Major Arcana. It says all of this pain that's in your past, once you're able to, again, 1 and 0, you're able to begin again, to be a fool for what you want to be, not letting your mind hold you back and overwhelm you. You're able to pull those swords out of your back and begin again. You're able to spin that wheel, believe that luck and good fortune are on your side, and begin a new chapter, begin a better story, because you've learned from these experiences and you know that it's not going to hold you back anymore. Just like we said with the Death card when we began here, death is not the ending. Death shows that we are able to begin again. Whatever ends, we have that power to begin again. And the 10 of Swords, 10 in the Major Arcana, the Wheel of Fortune, reminds us of that as well. When we're able to let this chapter go, let the pain of the past go, so we can learn the lessons it has to teach us and know that we can begin again. We can take those swords out, we can trust our minds and be able to change our situations for better. Therein lies the silver lining, I feel, of the 10 of Swords. It's the completion, it's the ending. This is going to pass so that we can begin again. We can find happiness, we can find peace of mind, because we're able to know that this didn't kill us, and that's just made us stronger, able and capable to begin and be a fool again for life and start something new. Now I'm going to move to the 3 of Swords. I forgot which order I had these in, so I've got one more after this to share with you. And the 3 of Swords, you know, this, like I said, is the card of heartbreak and betrayal. I've actually had a reading I did for someone once, and this card actually flew out of the deck when she was shuffling, and she said, does that mean anything? And I said, well, sometimes. And then sometimes I have this happen a lot. It just means you're not a fantastic shuffler and cards will fly out. But she kind of, I said, let's just set it aside and we'll talk about it when you when the reading's over, and we'll see what it means. So we did the whole reading. This card was still sitting there, and I said, okay, when you were shuffling the deck, were you thinking of anything? And she said, yeah, I was wondering if my husband was cheating on me. That's definitely the negative part of this card. This is why people don't want to see it, because this is kind of that confirmation of, yeah, you're right. That's why you feel like swords are in your heart. That feels like you've been stabbed in the back and the pain, because that's true. Like, it's most likely there's unfaithfulness and stuff going on, and there's that pain. But let's take that energy right there of that 3. We talked a little bit of the 3, about the 3 with the Death card, showing that able to begin again, that magician able to create the lives we want. And that 3 is right here too. So it has this question for you. What can that pain help you create? How can it help you change your life? How can it help you create the life that you want? When you're able to pull those swords out of your heart, learn from that pain, let go of the emotional hold that it has on you, and begin again. Remember, 3 is the number of creativity and creation itself. It's the Empress saying that you can create something better, something more beautiful than you ever had before. When you're able to take that pain or move that pain out of the way, stop thinking about the pain, and are able to see that you are the one creating the future that you want, and that pain of the past is gone. I keep going back to that rain and that sunshine coming through the rain and making the rainbow. Even dark and dreary days can lead to sunshine and beautiful light. Even darkness and pain can create some of the most beautiful stories and music that has ever been created. I always use this example because I love classical music, and there's Ludwig van Beethoven. He's created Für Elise and a bunch of other songs that everybody knows to this day. He was a famous composer that he's probably my favorite because of the obstacles that stood in his way of creating music, and he didn't let them. He was actually deaf, so he couldn't even necessarily hear the music he was creating. I think he put his head down to the ground or something like that so he could hear the vibrations, because he could hear that. But one of his songs that he created was called Rage Over a Lost Penny, and that's one of the most fascinating and beautiful songs that I have ever heard. And I don't know the story behind it necessarily, but it was called Rage Over a Lost Penny. You think of a penny, you think of the times of when he was alive. I think it was like the 1600s. A penny was a lot of money, so you'd be really, really upset about that. But when you're able to let that pain go, when you're able to create something from it, think of all the pennies you're going to make. Think of all the money you're going to make after that. So that's kind of the energy of the 3 of Swords. So when this card comes up in a reading and you fear it, once you let go of that emotion, once the emotion is out of it, once you're able to let go of that, what can you create from it? What story, what beauty, what art can be created from that pain? So letting go of the pain of the heartbreak and betrayal, letting go of the heartbreak, letting go of the sadness and the negativity that this 3 represents, it gives you that power to create with it, to create something better than you had before. And I feel like that's what all these cards represent, all these negativities, all that sadness. Once you're able to let it go, you can create something better than you ever had before. The rain will dissipate. The rain will, what's the word? Recede? Yeah, there we go. The rain will recede, and you'll have something better. You'll have something more beautiful than you ever had before. You'll mend that heart. You'll have that trust in your mind because you've experienced that. You know that life isn't always sunshine and roses. Even the roses, you know, that's got the prickly things, the thorns and everything that stab you. But the beauty is still there when you're able to see past the pain, see past the thorns, and see what you are able to create from the pain. Last and certainly not least, when it comes to cards that you do not want to see in your reading, feared cards, I'm giving you the 5 of Pentacles, because this is definitely a card no one wants to see. You know, this is the card of financial loss, feeling down on our luck, like nowhere to turn, nowhere to go, or anything. And the very least, it's a fear of that. You know, the bills are piling up, you don't feel like you're making enough money, and it feels like it's all going to come crashing down, or it already has and you don't know where to turn. Now, the silver lining of this card lies in this window right here. It says when you're down on your luck, when you don't feel like there's anywhere to turn, that's when you meet the people that can help you. That's when you meet your soul family, the ones that know what you're going to, that have been through it too, that can help you change it, help you turn it around and make your life better, to have more success, more financial success than you ever had before. Because that 5, you know, we talked about that. That's the Hierophant. That's the change and transformation. We think about the Hierophant, we think of structure, religion, and you could go to a church, you could go inside of it, and they would help you. They would show you light. They would show you compassion and kindness. They might even help you like get back on your feet. And another aspect of the 5 of Pentacles, you know, when you're down on your luck, when you've hit rock bottom and you don't feel like there's anywhere to go, there is nowhere to go but up. You're able to change your life when you find that confidence, when you find that ability to learn from those experiences and know that your future is what you create. You're able to change your life, you're able to transform it, and you're able to create something better than you ever have before. So even the 5 of Pentacles, when everything is dark, dreary, negative, and everything like that, you know, that window right there reminds you that there's someone out there that's been there, someone that has turned their lives around. They've been able to create from that pain. They're able to create something better, something more successful, so they can change their lives for the better. They're able to take those swords out of their back, to learn from those experiences so they can trust their minds to lead them to where they want to be. They're able to leave behind those vices and addictions, to be able to know that I can keep going. I can change my life because I am the magician of my story, and I love myself enough to believe that I have the power to do it. Because, yeah, things end. Towers come crashing down. You know, that puts you down on your luck. But you are the star of your story. You're able to learn from those experiences, have those hidden talents, show the world what you're capable of by creating something better than you ever had before. So all of these negative cards that we see, there's a silver lining to them. There's a empowerment to them, that we're able to keep going, that we're able to create something more beautiful than we ever had before, because we will keep going. The sun will shine again. Don't ever fear what we don't know. Don't ever fear that ending, because the ending's going to come for all of us, and you know, we just have to accept it. But when the ending comes in situations and things in our everyday existences, let it go, let it die, so we can find that confidence to keep going, to have something better than we ever had before, to create a better tower than we ever had before, to create a better, more successful life than we ever had before. So any of these cards that come up, you know, it's scary when you see them, but there's a positive light to it. Just like we can find a positive silver light to everything in life if we're willing to let go of the pain, not let those emotions hold us back, and see, you know, the clarity, the sun will shine again, that rainbow that can make everything better. So that is our message for today. I just wanted to do this because, you know, I've always kind of thought like the negative cards when people see it, and I was thinking about it a little bit. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you want a reading with this deck, it's really cool. Like I said, it's a circular deck, and I really use this reading because, or this deck because the more circular cards are, the more you don't really read the reverse as much. It is reversed, but you know, circular, more fun, different, unique like that. So it's a fun deck to have. I'll leave that in the link in the description below where you can purchase it. If you want a reading with it, then feel free to comment on this video, message me on either their socials, or book a reading directly on my website. All of that will be available. As always, I really want to thank you for watching. I hope this inspired you to see the cards in a more positive light, these negative cards that we don't always like to see. There is an empowerment and positivity to them if we're just willing to look for it. Thank you again for watching. If you haven't subscribed, then I'd appreciate if you would. You know, the more subscribers, the more I have a chance to turn my situation, where is it? Yes, there. Turn my situation around and change the money situations. We could all use that. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again in the next one.